football special. The Stanford Cardinal against the Buffaloes of Colorado. The 100th season of Colorado football was one for the ages. It saw the Buffaloes set down 11 straight opponents, capture a Big 8 championship, and for the first time ever play for the national title. That legacy has been passed down to the Buffaloes of 1990. This group has the potential to be an exceptional team, led by extraordinary talent. But an early season lesson has shown preserving the past is never easy. Now, against a difficult schedule, Colorado must prove it can sustain success. The Stanford Cardinal closed out Dennis Green's initial campaign, winning 2 of its final 3 games. That small taste of triumph is what Green will use to sculpt the future of the program. Youth prevails at Stanford, but so does a strong desire to win. And it seems only time stands in the way of a Cardinal comeback. Folsom Field in Boulder, Colorado, sold out for a home opener for the first time since 1972, and a crowd of more than 51,000 to see their Buffaloes take on Stanford. Good evening, everybody. I'm Mike Patrick, and welcome to our Thursday night special. Stanford, coming off of a 3-8 season, will unveil a couple of outstanding running backs tonight. One a transfer from Oklahoma, the other from Miami. Very promising, but very young. It's my pleasure tonight to be working with Steve Davis. And Steve, I think young describes Stanford's football team altogether, but especially the defense.
Well, if there's a question mark about tonight's ball game, it's on the defense. And unfortunately for Stanford, it's 9 question marks. To 9, they will start 9 players either for the first time or that have changed positions. So the youth is predominant on the Stanford defense. What their real task tonight is, and real challenge is to be able to really put the pressure on the running attack of Colorado. And they're going to try to put 9 men against the run. So this young defense, Mike, has got to grow up really quick if they've got a chance to win.
Colorado, of course, will be trying to win Big 8 championships back-to-back for the first time ever, and in the process, they're trying to throw the football more.
Well, the Orange Bowl experience, losing the national championship to Notre Dame, taught them that they've got to be able to throw, or at least have more balance and be committed to it. So that puts the pressure on an option quarterback. Darian Hagan is the best option quarterback in America. If he produces the same stats that he had last year, he'll be the best that's ever run the option play. But the real pressure on him is to throw passes and do things that he's really not designed for. So the pressure is to be able to take his attack and run it well and be confident in what he's doing.
Here comes Ralphie leading the Colorado Buffaloes. They have not lost a regular season game since 1988. And here's the Stanford Cardinal, 3-8 a year ago, but optimistic enough to believe they can make it to a bowl game this season. We'll be back with a kickoff. Stanford and Colorado from Boulder in just a moment.
No matter what sport America likes, there's one place America looks. Kmart, the one place with the best buy.
When you put a Pioneer 6-disc CD system in your car, you get a lot more out of your music.
We are in beautiful Boulder, Colorado. It's sold out Folsom Field for Stanford against Colorado. Colorado 0-1. They tied Tennessee a week ago. Stanford opening the season. The weather conditions, it is absolutely perfect here in Boulder, and we expect it to stay that way, although there is a slight chance of rain. During the toss of the coin ceremony, Eric Bieniemy was going absolutely nuts on the sideline. He did not get to play last week against Tennessee. Steve, he can't wait.
Well, Bill McCartney says the key to Eric Bieniemy and what he means to this team is his emotion, the power that he gives the team in terms of his leadership, and that's as important as his physical skills that he contributes.
McCartney now with a 15-year contract, starting his 9th year. He says it means he can do things for the future and not necessarily make decisions based on tomorrow. And Dennis Green trying to build the same kind of program that Bill McCartney has at Colorado. This is only his 2nd year at Stanford. He has some outstanding young players, but what a baptism tonight to play at Colorado. Stanford won the toss. They will receive to start the ball game. Steve, if you were Stanford, would you rather start on offense or defense in this game?
Well, they feel like they've got to really control the football and really keep that offense of Colorado off the field. So they want to really establish themselves, the running attack, and the things that they do well. The best way to stop Hagan, keep him on the sidelines.
Jim Harper will handle the kickoff duties. And deep to receive, Kevin Scott, number 3, and Glenn Milburn, number 5. Milburn, the outstanding sophomore, the transfer from Oklahoma, where he was projected as a starter. Let's see if they get a chance to return it against a strong-legged Harper. And we are underway in Boulder. 4 yards deep, and Kevin Scott will bring it out. Across the 20 to about the 21-yard line. And now for tonight's die-hard starting lineups. Jason Columbus, the starter 2 years ago, opens at quarterback. Milburn and Roberts, both transfers, the running backs. Pinckney and Walsh, the wide receivers tonight. Bauer, the tight end out of St. Louis, Missouri. Chris Dahlman, the center. The guards, Cassidy and Gillingham. And the tackles, potential All-American Whitfield and Darren Baird. 1st and 10 for the Cardinal at their own 21-yard line. They're in the eye with Milburn, the deep man. And Milburn gets the first call. Slithers forward out near the 25-yard line following the block of Ellery Roberts. We'll take a look at that Colorado defense. Steed, the nose man. Renfro and Howe are the tackles. The inside linebackers, Beekert and Brown, the outside linebackers, both All-Americans, Williams and Canavis McGee. They are something else. McLuhan figures the corners, and the safeties, James and Thomas. This is the fullback, Ellery Roberts, projected as a starter as a sophomore at Miami. And when you have guys projected as starters at Miami and Oklahoma, you really have something. Leonard Renfro made the tackle. Of course, both had to sit out last year after transferring, of course. Milburn shuttling back into the lineup. You can almost expect when Milburn is in there, they're going to run the ball.
Well, they're very much committed to the run at Stanford, which is atypical. Who would have thought in the 90s that Colorado would be trying to throw and Stanford try to run?
3rd down, 3 yards to go. Columbus to throw. Likes the short passing game. Throws complete to his tight end, Turner Bauer. And they've got the first down up around the 35-yard line. They call this the 49ers offense. Really, it's the Stanford offense because Bill Walsh put it in when he was there.
What they really do, they don't look for big plays necessarily. They just pick at you, short stuff, and really Bauer makes the catch in the coverage, but the point is they just keep picking and picking, and then they pick their opportunity for making something big happen. Something will bust.
Chad Brown initially missed the play, and Renfro had to come from behind to make the tackle. Roberts, the sole setback man. Columbus to Milburn out of the backfield. Avoids one tackle, but then dragged down. Nice job by Dave McLuhan, whose dad, Kent, was a fair to middling defensive back for a few years with Oakland.
What Stanford wanted to do offensively early in the ball game is create a lot of different formations for Colorado to look at. Colorado is a physical, experienced, mature defensive football team, so they want to take away or neutralize some of that strength. Give them a lot of formations, do a lot of short stuff, and keep them off balance where they can't really get into their full defensive attack.
Go with 3 wide receivers, Pinckney, Batson, and Walsh on the field, and split the backs. Robert Roberts and Milburn. Columbus, quick count to Walsh, wide open. Midfield to the Colorado 44-yard line. Hit from behind by Dion Figures. 19-yard gain and a nice touch by Columbus, who unloaded in a hurry.
19 Bickert is the outside Larry's linebacker. He's got to make a play and get there. No one is there. Also, Greg Thomas was out of position, and that's why on that quick passing game they found him right across the middle. Columbus able to find, that's a quick, easy hit. Doesn't take a lot of pass defense, or excuse me, a lot of line play, just to make a quick 1-2-3 throw.
Walsh is in there because Ed McCaffrey, who was the leading receiver a year ago, has back spasms and is unable to play tonight. Milburn outside. Got down to about the 37-yard line. Figures again coming up from the corner, got a piece of him. But you can see that Milburn has some speed.
The fullback has to be able to make the block. Watch Ellery Roberts, 33. There he is right there making the block, causing him to turn around. That's Williams, 94. And then Milburn is able to make an inside move and then out. Boy, that's the talent that Stanford really has lacked over the years. They've always been known for great quarterbacks, but it's been that running attack that they've lacked. And Dennis Green says, we're committed to it. We're going to make something happen. You cannot be one-dimensional in college football any longer.
Turner Bauer, the starting tight end, is going to have to be helped off the field. We are in Boulder, Colorado. We have played 3 minutes of the first quarter, and it has been all Stanford so far. Number 93 checks into the ball game, John Carpenter, who is listed as a tackle, but they will put a 93 jersey on him and send him in as a tight end. Also in there, Paul Nickel, number 88, who has not caught a pass for this ball club, has come in. It's Mike Patrick along with Steve Davis. Glad you could join us on a Thursday night from Boulder. If Stanford can keep its offense going like this, we could have quite a ball game coming your way. Roberts fumble. Colorado recovers. Williams comes up with the recovered fumble as Ellery Roberts coughed it up. Had a big hole. It looked like somebody just reached out and stripped him of the football.
Joel Steed, 93, the nose guard, will strip the ball away from Roberts. Stanford cannot afford, they don't have the talent to match up with Colorado. They cannot afford to make mistakes. They have to play near perfect football, and there they turned it over. Great play by Joel Steed, 93, a strong nose guard. Made an excellent play.
Stanford will load up on first down, telling Colorado that it will try to stop the run. The enemy, the deep man and the power ons. The enemy gets the call, and they stack him up in the backfield. Ron George, number 29, got there first as this gambling Stanford defense creates a loss on first down. Here is the offense for Colorado. Hagan, just a brilliant performance last year. Bieniemy and Hemingway are the running backs. Simmons is the wingback. The wide receiver, Mike Pritchard, who played tailback a week ago. Bowman, the tight end. Leuenberg is the center out of Kirkwood, Missouri. The guards, Garton and Heasley, excellent players. Solomon Vanderpool, a veteran, big offensive line. Hagan on the roll. Brought down again as he tried to cut it back. Dan Byers, number 55, the inside linebacker, makes the stop and will create a 3rd and long for Colorado. Busalachi is the nose man. Avila and Batson are the defensive tackles. Tunney and Byers, Tunney the leading tackler last 2 years, the inside backers. George and Garnett, the outside men. The corners, Goodwin, Scott, and Richardson. The safeties, Klein and Albert. 3rd and long, Hagan faked the pass, now goes on the run. Nice defensive play that time by Ron George again, who makes his 2nd tackle in 3 plays. And while they say they want to run more or pass more, obviously Hagan took one quick look and then went.
Well, that's true, and I think that's okay. Colorado's a great running football team. I think they have to establish the run and then work in and gradually get into the passing attack. Play action passes, then do the more exotic things that they want to put into their system.
Tom Ruin, a consensus All-American, will punt to Milburn. Ruin had an off week against Tennessee, only averaged 41 yards a kick. This one went 41 yards high. Milburn signals the fair catch, makes it at the 28-yard line. A 41-yard punt No return. Timeout on the field. 0-0.
You may not have thought about getting a Sears Die-Hard battery until you've had a little time alone to think about it. Die-Hard. More power when you need it most.
Wild thing. It is a wild thing. Oh, come shout and sing, join in the ring. It could be queen or it could be king. You go your way and I'll go mine, as long as you just make it fine.
Good times roll with the clean, fresh taste of Bud Light. It won't fill you up, never let you down.
Wild thing. La, 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 wild thing.
Dan Larson knows a secluded course where the holes are challenging, but the fees aren't. Now, where do you suppose he'd rent a car? Budget, where every rental passes 25 quality checks and price is not a handicap. Bob Nickel knows a little French cafe where the food is magnifique, but the bill isn't. Now, where do you suppose he'd rent a car? Budget, where he finds the most luxury Lincolns, over 3,500 locations worldwide, and very tasteful prices. The smart money is on budget.
You may not have thought about getting a Sears Die-Hard battery until you've had a little time alone to think about it. Die-Hard. More power when you need it most.
This ESPN College Football Special, Stanford versus Colorado, is brought to you by Bud Light. Everything else is just a light. And by UPS. For guaranteed overnight delivery from coast to coast, UPS runs the tightest ship in the shipping business. 0-0, first quarter of play. Both teams have had the football once. For Colorado, it was 3 plays and out. Stanford racked up 50 yards on an impressive-looking drive before Ellery Roberts fumbled the football. So initially, at least, the Cardinal was able to do what it wanted to do. J.J. Lastly, number 26, is the halfback in this formation, and he'll get the carry on the delay. Across the 30 to about the 31 following the block of Roberts, and Gary Howe, number 95, tripped him up.
Joel Steed, number 93, the nose guard, is a very talented player. Chuck Gillingham, 62, and also the center, Dowman, 52, gets him out of the play. Not all that impressive, but they kept him away from the play in terms of making it, even getting close to making the tackle.
Second down, 7 yards to go. Columbus wanted to unload it in a hurry, now has to scramble and throws it away. Had Walsh and Pinckney as wide receivers. Columbus, of course, fell to the 4th on the depth chart a year ago, and Coach Denny Green didn't even know he had shoulder problems because Columbus never complained about it. Finally had shoulder surgery. It had bothered him since high school. In '88, he had been the starter, but he just lost all the zip on his arm, Steve, and that you can't have that.
No, he really didn't, but he's not a strong arm thrower, but he's accurate, and that time he showed his intelligence. He didn't have it on the right timing, and he threw it away. Keep him out of a bad play.
3rd and 7. 4-man rush, Columbus in trouble, scrambles out of it, hits Walsh. Midfield and more. Horse collared at the 45-yard line by Greg Thomas, starting only his 2nd game, a gain of 25. And Walsh has hit a couple of big plays in the first period.
Great job by Columbus, the quarterback. He moved away from the pressure. They've got 5 defensive backs in the ball game for Colorado, and he finds the open man Walsh. Normally a backup starting tonight. Doesn't have a great speed, but tremendously intelligent on the field. Knows where the people are and makes a big play for a 1st and 10.
Stanford possibly surprising the Colorado defense. 2 fullbacks in right now, Roberts and Bardell. Roberts got to about the 43-yard line, stopped by the center of the defense, led by Greg Beekert. Was an outside linebacker a year ago, had 13 tackles against Tennessee.
One of the big concerns that Stanford had might come into the ball game is whether or not this finesse game, this pick, then big play, if it would work against Colorado. So far, it's gone just the way they wanted it to.
The offensive coaches have to be standing on the sideline and up in the booth with grins from ear to ear.
And Stanford desperately needs success early in the ball game.
Columbus sends Roberts out of the backfield, makes the grab, gets down to the 37-yard line. Tackled from behind again by Beekert, who was following him out of the backfield. Alfred Williams also in on the play. Beekert out of Longmont, Colorado. A lot of players on this club come out of California, especially the Los Angeles area.
I think that may be to the biggest credit of Mike, to Bill McCartney, to be able to recruit the players, the type of talent that he has to come to Boulder, Colorado.
I think you're right, Steve. It's 3rd and 3. Milburn is back in, and he comes out of the backfield. Columbus looks for him, throws behind, and Milburn can't hold it. Milburn was open, but Columbus, under pressure from Williams, unloaded in a hurry and missed.
What Colorado did that time, they came with the blitz, but it was Alfred Williams, number 94, the outside linebacker, that got his hand on Columbus, and that caused him to throw off balance and really didn't have time to get set and make a good throw.
Paul Stonehouse on to punt. Line of scrimmage to 37. McLuhan is deep, but he won't get a chance as Stonehouse kicks it into the end zone. A 37-yard punt. No return, but only a net of 17. Still scoreless first period, 7:35 on the clock.
Approaching landing zone. Prepare to land.
Let's move! Got a connection to make.
Give the Army Signal Corps 30 minutes and they can turn a mountaintop into a satellite communication station. Qualify for training like this, and you'll learn to work with some of the most exciting high-tech electronics around.
Roger, Bravo 2-6, loud and clear.
We got him! Right! All that you can
Did well. We're well connected, Sergeant.
Get an edge of life in the Army.
In places beyond the reach of other overnight delivery companies, you'll find UPS, because unlike the competition, only UPS Next Day Air guarantees delivery overnight to every single address, coast to coast. And because of our efficiency, we can do it for up to half what other companies charge, whether the place is hard to reach or easy to reach. UPS, we run the tightest ship in the shipping business.
Chevy's got this truck, S10EL. More power than a leading import for less money. I said that's more for less. I told Chevy if you tell everybody about it on television, everybody's gonna want to do it. The imports will see it. They'll say, hey, we want to do that too. Chevy will say, nope, can't. More for less, that's ours. Then the government will say, maybe we could give the people more for... Nah, more for less. What a concept. There, I told everybody and I feel much better about it.
Denny Green had one of those decisions early in this game that you can look back on later and say, what if? He decided to punt from the 37-yard line. Would have been a 54-yard field goal attempt, and his kicker has that distance. But I think right now, Steve, he is more concerned about field position than he is three-point.
You've got to play sound, fundamental football. Make them go 80 yards. Don't give them a shorter distance to go for a score.
They'll stop the play as there was movement early. And the Stanford defense really swarming. We have a split crew of officials. This is Dean Kramer out of Fort Dodge, Iowa, Big 8 official.
Dead ball.
How come these microphones never work? What is this? It's a guarantee. That's a 5-yard penalty that'll put the ball back near the 15-yard line, make it 1st and 15. Bieniemy now the single setback as they go with 2 wide receivers. Bieniemy found a seam up the middle across the 20 to about the 21-yard line. And this kid is just a tremendous athlete.
What Stanford really felt like, they had to stop the run. They want to force Colorado to throw the football. They want to make Colorado prove that they can throw it. There are 9 guys up on the line of scrimmage, 2 basically in the secondary, and 1 base. All of them, 8, 9 guys in the line, committed to stopping the run to force Colorado to throw the football. 2nd down, 9 yards to go. Back to the power formation. Hagan, the pitch to Bieniemy. Look how well Stanford covered it. Garnett, the linebacker, was just waiting for the pitch and made the tackle.
key to the wishbone, as you were saying, is to keep them in long yardage situation. Look at the success they had last year. 4 yards or less, it was almost a gimme. 5 yards or more, they hardly ever got it.
Well, you look at a third down success ratio, but the real success of option football is on that first down. And that's what Stanford has been able to do very successfully. Give them second and long in every drive they've had so far in the game.
3rd and 12. The fullback Hemingway goes to a wing. Good protection, only a 2-man rush, really. The pass behind Pritchard and incomplete. Pritchard, who ran as a tailback last week, he gained 217 yards, goes back to his wide receiver spot, and Hagan just missed it.
Don't doubt the ability of Darian Hagan to throw the football. He's got a strong live arm. He's just not done it enough, not enough repetition. And Pritchard, there's no reason for him to drop that ball. He was open, he needed to make the adjustment, needs to make those kind of catch.
Ruin to punt, and Milburn waits at his own 33-yard line. They think Milburn will contribute the most on this team in open field situations like this. Ruin crushes one. Milburn from the 26. Got a chance. One man to beat. Goodbye. Milburn, 74 yards. Oh, and they'll mark it down at the 1-foot line. Holy cow. Tim James, the safety, saved the touchdown.
Just the kind of kick you want to be able to return, and Colorado's really had to work on their kicking game aspects. They pride themselves in their punting game, but Milburn uses his tremendous speed, gets the seam. Colorado spread out and just almost got into the end zone.
Oh, James diving full length of his body, just got a piece of an ankle, and Milburn crashes at the 1. 1st and goal from a foot out. Volpe and Vardell are the running backs. Quarterback sneak. Touchdown. So far, Stanford has done everything, Steve Davis, that they told us they had hoped to do. Everything.
They have been able to execute, and a team like Stanford that is really at a talent differential with Colorado. Colorado's got more talent, but they're in the end zone. All he's got to do is break the plane with the ball, but they've got to play smart, intelligent football, and you think Stanford can do that.
Yeah, you would see if anybody can. Hopkins will go for the point after. And the Stanford Cardinal takes a surprise 7-0 lead over the number 6 team in the nation, the Buffaloes of Colorado.
Why pay retail when the lowest possible price in the free world on Hyundai, Mazda, and Mitsubishi is waiting for you at Offenburg St. Clair Auto Mall. Nobody can beat the St. Clair Auto Mall's selection or bottom line price on new and pre-owned vehicles. No matter where you live, it's worth the trip to Offenburg St. Clair Auto Mall.
Why pay retail?
The St. Clair Auto Mall, O'Fallon.
Come see us where every day's a sale.
Come on, Joker! Get ready to go wild. That's right, you did it! The Joker's Wild is fun by definition.
Welcome to the Joker's Wild. Joker!
Weekdays at 3, premiering September 10th on KTVI Channel 2. What makes some people personalities? Find out when we take you behind the scenes to meet the celebrities making headlines. From private lives to public profiles, Personalities uncovers your need to know. Weekdays at 3:30 only on KTVI Channel 2.
There's something to shout about on ESPN. Hawkins may go all the way.
A 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown.
Sack time. Touchdown. Two Heisman hopefuls go head-to-head Saturday night when Craig Erickson leads national champion Miami against BYU's Ty Detmer. It's all part of a college football triple-header. Live Saturday on ESPN.
first quarter of his career at Stanford, and Glenn Milburn turns in a great punt return, 74 yards, got down to the 1-foot line and set up the Stanford touchdown. It's something you do not do to Colorado. Look at their ranking in the NCAA in net putting. They have been, the lowest they've been in 5 years is 3rd. They don't give up returns like that. But then they don't face Milburn every day either.
Well, now they face some great backs in Colorado, I promise you that.
Yeah.
But really, Colorado does pride themselves in their punting ability and their return and their kicking game aspects of the game.
There's a couple of other guys on the return team for Colorado who could do it as Hopkins got set to kick off. Pritchard and Bieniemy. Dangerous people in this ball game on kick returns. Hopkins in practice was kicking 62-yard field goals. Room to spare, so we may see something later tonight. Bieniemy 6 yards deep, he'll down it there. Colorado will have to start from its own 20-yard line. Now, if you're Colorado, Steve, what are you thinking about on offense? You've been stuffed 2 series in a row by this gambling, blitzing defense.
Well, it's too early in the ball game to panic. They're not going to panic. They're a veteran team. They have excellent offensive linemen, backs, all the things. They just need to stay with their game plan and gain a little confidence. Their strong suit is their running game, and they've got to be able to establish a little bit more credibility and a little bit more success on their first down plays. Run the option, do some things that Darian Hagan can do, Eric Bieniemy can do.
Bieniemy is the single setback as Hemingway, the fullback, number 22, goes to a wing. Straight hand off to Bieniemy, lost the football. Stanford recovers at the 20. Holy cow. Stanford, a team last year that had only 13 turnovers, number 2 in the country. They have already had 6 this year in 5 quarters. Dave Garnett made the recovery. And Ron George was the guy who knocked it loose.
Colorado is not good enough to win on talent alone. They've got to be able to execute. Execution will win games, and it will get you beat. Ron George is able to make strip the ball away and cause Stanford excellent field position, turn it, give you emotion, all the things you want if you're Stanford.
Remember what Bill McCartney said to us last year? We got all the breaks. The ball bounced up to us. You never know whether you're going to have that kind of luck, that kind of chemistry in the next year. Milburn, the tailback in the eye. Vardell, the up man. Milburn gets the call, breaks it outside. Picks up 9 yards down to the Colorado 11-yard line, and some of the natives are getting a little restless. Colorado came in as a 3-touchdown favorite. If you didn't know which team was dressed in which uniform, you'd swear it was the guys in white, and that's Stanford.
Milburn is a big league talent as a running back. He has all the moves to play in any great running attack in the country. The hips movement, the speed, the power. He's an open field runner, and he is dangerous. He is a threat. He's 3 carries for 19 yards just rushing the football.
Volpe and Vardell, the running backs, on 2nd and 1. Volpe, he cuts it outside to the 5 and pushed out of bounds. What's unusual about this is being able to get outside of linebackers like Williams and McGee. I mean, these guys are All-Americans, great players, and Stanford's done it 3 or 4 times already.
Well, Stanford's giving them a lot of formations. They're mixing it up, their short passing game, and they're really reducing Colorado's package of what they can bring to the party. So that's why they're able to have success inside and then all of a sudden jump outside on big play. You've got your outside linebackers guessing, thinking, looking inside, thinking outside. They're confused. They're trying to play good fundamental defense, and Stanford's taking advantage of it.
1st and goal from the 4. Volpe has a hole, got inside the 2. Volpe started the first 2 games last year, but he had some injuries, knee and some others. In '88, he was first team All Pac-10, had over 1,000 yards rushing, finally healthy again.
Chris Dahlman, the center for Stanford, is doing an excellent job eliminating Joel Steed, the nose guard. And also watch Volpe be able to react to that block and move on the cutback play. You've got an aggressive Colorado defense. They're under pressure. They're making quick movements. And then Stanford's being able to cut back and just play off of the direction the Colorado defense is headed.
2nd and goal inside the 2. They set up in the eye. Roberts, the short man. Vardell, the deep man. Vardell to the goal line, touchdown. And how quiet Can 51,463 people be? They're stunned.
Aren't you?
Yeah. Well, somebody asked me earlier today, what do you think? Is it going to be a close game? And I said, well, you can look at it two ways. Stanford's got all these good young kids. Gee, they come out and play a great game, or they can get blown away. It looks like they've come out to play a great game. Hopkins, who has kicked 60 consecutive, make that 55 consecutive point after. Makes it 56. Going for a school record, which is 59.
One of the pressure points for Colorado defensively is their inside linebackers, Beekert and Chad Brown. This time, Ellery Roberts, 33, will block Chad Brown, 34, right there. That gives Vardale the chance to power and get over the block into the end zone. Those linebackers have to step up, be somebody, make the hit right there. He missed him. And also, that was McLuhan also that missed the tackle.
A long punt return and a recovered fumble have set up the 2 touchdowns, but keep in mind, it just hasn't been breaks for the Stanford Cardinal, because the first time they got the ball, they drove into Colorado territory before they fumbled. They have moved the ball every time they've touched it.
Yeah, Stanford has run exactly what they wanted to do. They've been very successful. They only stopped themselves at one time on the fumble. They've been able to execute and run their game. Now Colorado's in a little bit different posture. They're going to have, by the situation of 14-0, they're going to get to see if they can throw the ball.
Of course, they are coming off a game against Tennessee where they had a lead and lost it in the fourth quarter, ended up in a 31-31 tie. Bieniemy and Pritchard are deep. Hopkins to kick away. Got all of it again. This one might go to Denver. Colorado will have to start from its own 20 again. Vardale caps off the short 21-yard drive. It only took 4 plays and a minute 34 off the clock. And the heavy underdog Stanford Cardinal is leading number 6 Colorado 14-0. And Colorado, the option team, this great rushing attack so far has 5 yards. Stanford, the pass-happy West Coast school that decides it's going to run, has 49 in the first period. Bieniemy, the deep man. He gets the call. Whoa. Looked like Tyler Batson and Busalachi. What a shot he took.
That time they went with a loaded backfield, their eye-bone look, and Stanford's really concentrating on stopping that run. 9 men up front of the line on first down plays. That is the key to stopping option football. Load them up, make them go 2nd and 9, 2nd and 8 on a situation, and that's exactly what Stanford's been able to accomplish.
Well, if that's the key to stopping the option, doesn't the reverse side work? You have to throw on first down, or do you take yourself out of your game? 2nd down, 9 yards to go. Hagan on the option. There's the seam. Across the 40, Richardson trying to cut him off. He and Scott do. You can't stop that kind of talent in this offense forever. And the corners had to chase down Darian Hagan after a gain of 35. Fans finally have something to cheer about.
Stanford realized coming into the ball game that Hagan would have big plays, that because of the aggressive defensive style, great block by Hemingway, the fullback, to break him into the secondary. Now the pressure on this young defense is to respond. After they give up a big play, do they give up another one? That was the concern of the defensive coaches coming into the ball game. Colorado would have or will have success tonight. Stanford just has to react and keep back into their game.
Oh, you're right. Denny Green said they will get some big plays. Hopefully they'll be 20 to 35 yards and not to 75 and 80 yards.
Yeah, when you've got 9 men on the line and you're trying to stop the run, there's going to be natural seams created, and this guy, Hagan, can take advantage of you and really hurt you.
And he was such a question mark last year, had to come in and play when Salinesi was diagnosed as having inoperable cancer, and he just shocked everybody in Colorado, the Big 8, and the rest of the country. Had just had a tremendous performance. One of only 6 players to ever rush and pass for over 1,000 yards in the same season. First time Colorado has done anything on offense. They go back to the power formation for the Stanford 44. Bieniemy. Chased outside, pushed out of bounds. Good job by Albert Richardson, who fought off a block, maintained his leverage, and he and Sayon Albert shoved him out of bounds.
can't say enough about the way Stanford's defensive coaches have prepared this football team. They wanted to force Darian Hagan the ball out of his hands. They wanted to make him pitch the ball. Then they string it out. Hagan's not reading the option all the way through, so he's looking to pitch the ball that the seam's not there. Stanford's quick, reacting, and running the sidelines and forcing the play east and west rather than getting a chance to go north and south.
Gary Taylor into the Stanford secondary as Richardson limped out. Hagan may have gone the wrong way and just ducks on this one and goes down at the 45-yard line. There's also a flag down on the play. Everybody went left. Hagan started right, and I don't think it was that play that's part of the option package where you start the wrong way.
It was a slow reacting quarterback keep.
Holding on the offense.
I think sometimes, Mike, when you've had a great year as a quarterback in your first year as a starter, you have a tendency to push. You want to create an ability or a level of play equal to what you had last year. It's just Darian Hagan's got to be able to back off and just play his own game, not put all the pressure on himself, because he'll make mistakes. That was a mental mistake. He did start the wrong way and then realizes where he's got to go. So don't put all the pressure on Darian Hagan, and don't take it from the quarterback.
They decline the penalty. They'll take the loss on the play, which will make it 3rd and 9. Stanford will play a lot of man-to-man defense on the corners. Bieniemy, the single setback. Here comes the blitz. Screen to Bieniemy. Perfect call. Bieniemy down to the 30-yard line. Usalachi dragged him down from behind, but this will be called back by a clip. It was very obvious on the screen and happened right in front of the official. It was a great call against the blitz, though. And there was no doubt about the clip.
On the offense.
So this turns a big gain in a 1st down into 3rd and a mile.
Leuenberg, number 52, the center, he will make the clip. Watch him right there. There he's on the back. There's the clip, very clear. Obviously, the damage is it's a big play offensively that's negated by the penalty. But again, it gives quarterback Hagan a little bit more confidence throwing. He's got to be able to throw a variety of different passes, and any way they can give him confidence, they need to give it to him, and right now. And so the screen pass was the ideal play call.
And Leuenberg really distinguished himself in the Orange Bowl. Did a great job against Zorich of Notre Dame.
They really expect him to project him to be a great player before his career is completed here at Colorado.
They're loaded with All-Americans along that offensive line, but now it's 3rd and 27. Hagan airs it out. Has a man out there. He's got Rico Smith, number 86, makes the grab, a gain of 25, and it will bring up a 4th and 2. And on 3rd and 27, how do you get that wide open?
It's unbelievable. Stanford only had a 2-man rush. They dropped everybody else. 9 men dropped. What's the rush? There's only 2 men, and yet they give Rico Smith 86, 2-minute cushion. Great throw by Hagan to show that he does have strength and ability in his arm. He's not just an old wishbone quarterback trying to throw.
And John Bowman, the tight end, was wide open down the middle, too. You had to wonder where all the Stanford defenders were. 4th and 2, they'll go for it. Bieniemy is the deep man behind Hemingway. Bieniemy. Oh, it all depends on the spot. Dave Garnett, number 42, came from the right linebacker spot to make the tackle. Gambled by McCartney, and they will have to measure for it. That's not Ralphie. That's more like a souvenir you take home. McCartney, who just did a tremendous job building this program up and hopes to maintain this level. Here's the measurement. Stanford indicates they didn't get it, and they didn't. The Cardinal, blessed here in the 1st period. They have played outstanding football. 2:35 to go in the quarter. They take over on downs. Bill McCartney can't believe it, and neither can 51,000 people. And maybe if you look over at the Stanford sideline, a couple of guys are pinching themselves over there. Mike Patrick and Steve Davis with you from Boulder, Colorado. 14-0 Stanford. If you just joined us, the Cardinal has dominated this game from the very beginning. Milburn cut into trouble that time. Steed, the noseband, was there along with Canavis McGee, the right outside linebacker. Milburn so quick trying to get to those holes.
We've been talking about Dowman, the center, number 50, working on Joel Steed. That time, Steed really stayed after him and really took the play to Dowman, backed him up, played off the block, and was able to make the tackle.
McGee, one of 4 finalists for the Butkus Award last year, slow by an ankle injury, still had over 100 tackles. Columbus. Pump fake in trouble, dumps it to Milburn, wanted to run before he caught the ball and dropped it. Milburn wide open, and a good job by Columbus, who's made some excellent decisions in this game. And Milburn just dropped it.
Part of the mechanics of the Stanford offense is to be able to throw on time and in sequence. He wants to throw right there, bang, he can't. Now he's got to find the open receiver, and anytime you get him into that, out of that sequence, then he's going to be throwing off balance and in movement. That time he was not able to get set. Boy, you should catch that ball, Glenn Milburn.
And if I was Columbus, I'd say something when he came back, because McGee unloaded.
Yeah, that's a little discussion in the huddle, I promise you.
3rd and 10. 4-man rush. Time for Columbus. Dumps it to Milburn. This kid is a real weapon. Into Colorado territory at the 49, first down. Chad Brown, the linebacker, had to make the tackle after a gain of 16.
When Stanford had Darren Lewis, they were able to really create some opportunities for them, or Darren Nelson. Watch this time, just find Glenn Milburn, give him the football, get him in his hands either way by handing it off, throwing it to him, and he just has that tremendous ability, quickness, legs. He could put any jersey on in the country that runs the football, and he could contribute.
Well, when they isolate him on a linebacker, it's a little unfair to the linebacker. Beaker didn't stand a chance. Lastly checks in with Roberts in the backfield. Roberts will get the carry, hammer straight ahead. Not much there as Gary Howe out of Spencer, Iowa was waiting for him.
Part of the problem for the Colorado defensive coaches was to convince them that Stanford had a running attack. They've not seen either Roberts or Milburn on film in preparation. This is Stanford's opener, so it was really frustrating because you just immediately think Stanford's going to throw the football, and they were real concerned about how they would react to the kind of speed and the kind of backs that they would see tonight. Coaches are a little smarter than players, I guess.
At least that's what the coaches tell the players.
That's what they always told me.
2nd and 9. Straight 4-man rush. Columbus with time again. Now he has to scramble. Dumps it to Lastly, and he'll get a couple out of it. Excellent decisions by Jason Columbus. He's only missed 3 passes tonight, and 2 of those were dropped. The third maybe should have been caught.
Part of the suspicions of Stanford's offensive line was the right side, Gillingham and Baird. Watch Darren Baird, 6'8". He loses 94 Williams. Now watch him. He comes back and makes a block the second time, a second effort play to give him a chance to complete the pass.
They acknowledged the left side of their line with Whitfield over there. The 300-pounder was the strength, and that's where they'd run when they had to. And Stanford letting the clock run down. That is the end of the first quarter from Boulder, Colorado. And the Stanford Cardinals stunning the heavily favored Buffaloes 14-0.
The bigger than ever, better than ever 1991 Chevy S10 Blazer 4-door.
We wanted a motel, but Dad said camping's a thing. And my brother came along. Yuck!
Now America's best loved sport utility vehicle gives you 25% more cargo room and 100% more doors.
But so did my best friend Linda.
The 4-door Chevy S10 Blazer. Come open one up and see why nobody's winning like the heartbeat of America.
We talk till midnight.
Today's truck is Chevrolet.
I'd like to make a simple point about a gasoline additive called ProGuard. You see, without proper care, even new car engines accumulate deposits that can lead to a rough-running engine. Fortunately, there's ProGuard. Added to a single tank full of gasoline, ProGuard's patented Tecon chemistry begins cleaning deposits not only from fuel injectors, but throughout your engine's intake system.
for a noticeably smoother performance.
ProGuard for a smoother running engine.
The airline that brings you 10 countries across Asia and the Pacific now bridges the Atlantic to Europe. With flights to Frankfurt and to Paris. Come fly the airline that spans more than half the world. United. Come fly the friendly skies.
Daddy, I want my Jenny beer.
I want my soda.
Grandma, isn't this fun?
Oh. I want my Serta.
Why do people want a Serta? The answer is the exclusive Serta Surface. It tops firm support with layers of thick, luxurious comfort. It'll spoil you for sleeping any other way. So get a Serta Perfect Sleeper.
I want my Serta.
Chris Kelly knows a little beachfront hotel where the view is breathtaking, but the prices aren't. Now, where do you suppose she'd rent a car? Budget, where she can reserve a car that's less than 6 months old in less than 3 minutes. Bob Nickel knows a little French cafe where the food is magnifique, but the bill isn't. Now, where do you suppose he'd rent a car? Budget, where he finds the most luxury Lincolns over 3,500 locations worldwide and very tasteful prices. The smart money is on budget.
We are in beautiful and silent Boulder, Colorado, as the homestanding Buffaloes are being shelled in the first quarter, 14-0, ready to start the second period. And Stanford has the football again. The Cardinal with a 3rd and 6 from the Colorado 45. What we are seeing so far has been unbelievable. Batson, the only wide receiver, comes to the right side. Columbus wants Milburn, and he's sacked by Alfred Williams. And then McGee. Williams got there first, the senior out of Houston, Texas. The all-time leader in sacks for this club. He had 10.5 a year ago, #1 in the Big 8.
Two things happen. First, there is a great effort by the defensive backs. Hamilton, #6, and Figures, #2. Those receivers are covered. Watch the pressure now applied. They're getting the quarterback out of sequence. He's in trouble. He can't throw it on time, and he's got to move. And there they are, McGee and Williams.
Really the first time the Colorado defense has done much. Stonehouse punting. McLuhan lets it go. The ball will go into the end zone. So with 14-17 to go in the second quarter, Colorado may have finally developed some momentum, and they'll get to start from their own 20-yard line. You knew they wouldn't be silent forever, offensively or defensively. This is the 6th-ranked team in the nation, and they deserve that ranking. They have some outstanding football players.
It's about now that Colorado is trying to decide. The question mark has been, what is Colorado's offense? And they still are committed to trying to throw the football, but they got to get to their ability to run the football right now, establish something in the running game.
They need to be committed to get a couple first downs. Hagan on the option. Stanford strings it out. Hagan can't go anywhere. Gets maybe a half yard. Caught from behind by John O'Tunney, the leading tackler the last 2 years.
Two outstanding efforts by Stanford defenders. Dave Garnett, the outside backer, #42, and John O'Tunney, 95. Garnett's the one that strings it out, #42, and that gives Tunney the ability to make the play inside. But great fanatical effort by the sophomore, #42, Tunney. Excuse me, Tunney's 95 and Garnett's 42, but both of them really made tremendous plays to string out the option play.
Second down, call it 9. Hagan with a quick pitch this time to Bieniemy. Nice block by Simmons, and Bieniemy in the open field, cut down at the 39-yard line. Michael Simmons, the wingback, threw a whale of a block to get him loose.
Watch 24, Ton Von Lee, #24. He gets blocked. great effort by Simmons, 42, to make that block, and then Bieniemy's able to turn inside. If you're going to force your quarterback to pitch the ball quickly, then you've got to be able, if your safeties, they've got to be able to react to start and be out there for the option play and the pitch play. That time, Van Lee was not there to make the play on Bieniemy.
The fullback Hemingway also got an excellent block. Bieniemy trying the middle. Usalachi tripped him up, and then he was covered by Sion Albert. Bieniemy was so destroyed by the fumble he made in the Orange Bowl last year. The one you may remember, he was in the open field, shifting the ball from one hand to another and fumbled it. He got a blow up of the photograph and put it on the wall in his room. I mean, it just won't go away.
It certainly won't go away on his wall.
9 carries, 35 yards tonight.
Do you put your biggest mistakes in the blow-up picture on the wall, generally?
I don't have room. Fullback Hemingway, he'll get a couple. There is a flag down on the play. Tunney again on the stop. Leading tackler last 2 years. And here's the call.
Good ball. False start. The offense.
And Colorado has made the most mistakes in the penalty department, too. If you joined us late, you missed some fireworks. Stanford leading 14-0 over the number 6 team in the nation. And it hasn't been a fluke. They have dominated them offensively and defensively. Only a couple of times have the Colorado Buffaloes been able to do anything on offense. Second down, now 13. Hagan straight back. Complete to Hill coming out of the backfield across the 45 to the 46-yard line. Albert and Garnett on the tackle. They're using the fullback more in the Colorado offense as a pass receiver this year.
Stanford went 9 men up trying to stop the run, 1 back offense. James Hill, this is the quarterback ability of Darian Hagan. He really does have a strong arm. That time he set up, good composure, good strike, good throw and catch. Single coverage. But do not think future opponents of Colorado, that Darian Hagan can't throw the ball. He's got the arm. He just hasn't used it enough.
3rd and a yard, and Hagan is wrapped up as they decide to run the option instead of going up the middle. And what a great play. George and Van Lee were in the backfield. Hagan never had a chance, and he was smothered. Well, they're run blitzing, gambling on almost every down, and it's certainly paying off. Ruin will come in, and Milburn, who had a 74-yard return that set up a touchdown, is waiting at his 15-yard line. And Stanford has 10 men on the line of scrimmage. Ruin, a beautiful high floater. Milburn signals fair catch and then lets it go. Will they kill it? No. Just made the end zone. So nothing going right for Colorado. That time a punt of 57, but it will come out to the 20.
A little brains, a little luck, and a lot of late nights. A good family, a good spot, and some good advice. That's the way it's supposed to be. And USF&G is standing behind me. That's the way it's supposed to be. And USF&G is standing behind me.
Recently, Four Wheel and Off-Road magazine tested the latest imports and domestics to determine this year's 4x4 of the year. The winner was then tested against past 4x4 of the year winners to determine the best of the best. They compared power, performance, and handling. And when it was over, Jeep Cherokee stood on familiar ground.
Now get 0% financing or $1,000 cash back on new Jeep Cherokees.
Along the edge of San Francisco Bay, just off the Embarcadero,
you'll discover the Fog City Diner. Elegant as a formal dining car, yet friendly as a Main Street cafe, where people reserve weeks in advance to taste the red curry mussel stew or the grilled chicken with roasted peppers. So leave your troubles behind, but bring your Visa card, because at Fog City, they take things easy, but they don't take American Express. Visa, it's everywhere you want to be.
This ESPN College Football Special, Stanford versus Colorado, is brought to you by Jeep. There's only one Jeep. And by Visa, it's everywhere you want to be. Stanford leading 14-0 over Colorado in the offense, talking it over on the sideline. They've had a good pass play and a couple of big runs, Steve, but it hasn't amounted to anything.
They've not been able to consistently establish their offense, and they've gotten into down and distance situations where they got predictable, just what Stanford wanted them to do.
The Cardinal, on the other hand, has been able to do almost anything it wants on offense, except throw deep, and they think they can do that too. Roberts, the only setback, gets the carry. A couple of 3 tough yards. Beekert, one of the inside linebackers, the first man to beat him, and got some help from McGee. Give him a gain of 3 yards, spotted at the 23, 2nd and 7. Well, if you're Stanford, Steve, you just keep doing the same things you've been doing?
With a 14-point lead, yeah, you do. Don't change. But this, for a young football team, the first game, the confidence that they are building as a result of the score and the way they're playing really adds to their opportunities.
Columbus unloads quickly, throws behind his intended receiver, John Pinckney, who was running a little slant or a post. And one of the few bad tosses by Columbus in this game. The storyline from Boulder, Colorado is all Stanford. Milburn already has 133 yards all-purpose, including that one big punt return. Columbus has been outstanding, and Colorado has gotten into Stanford territory just one time.
Columbus has really played intelligent football tonight. He's not gone beyond his abilities. We've talked about he doesn't have a strong arm. You just pick your shots, take your chances, and he's not thrown the bad ball. He's thrown it away, kept him out of the bad play.
3rd and 8, Stanford has converted 3 of 5 third down situations in the first half, and Columbus wants a timeout to talk about this one. We'll be back to Boulder, Colorado in just a moment.
Recently, 4-Wheel and Off-Road magazine took this year's 4x4 of the Year winner and all the past winners and conducted a head-to-head showdown to determine the best of the best. So who won? Who knows? There are a lot of 4x4s out there, but there's only one Jeep.
Now get 0% financing or $1,000 cash back on new Jeep Cherokees.
Never takes the easy way out.
You're reaching deep inside you for things you've never known. Go!
That's why getting into the Rangers is tough, and the training is tough.
Be all that you can be.
So it makes me feel like I'm part of something really special.
Be all that you can be.
And I'm not the only one.
Get an edge on life in the Army.
9:58 to go, first half of play from Boulder, Colorado. Stanford leading Colorado 14-0. The student athlete of the game is brought to you by the U.S. Army. Learn how to get an edge on life. Be all you can be. And tonight's recipient is Colorado offensive tackle Jim Hansen. He is an aerospace engineering major with a 3.98 grade point average. He was the engineering school sophomore of the year in 1989, the first time an athlete has ever won the award. The only reason he doesn't have a perfect 4.0, he got an A- in one course. said that will inspire him to do better. I remember when I got an A- once, it really inspired me, but it wasn't to do better.
I was thankful to get one.
Columbus against the four-man rush under pressure. Tried to get rid of it. Looked like a pass, and it was. Ruled an incomplete pass as Alfred Williams was again giving Columbus trouble from the left side. Crowd wanted to fumble, but obviously Columbus was trying to throw it.
The pressure, they knew. 3rd down and 8, it's a predictable passing situation. Williams goes around the outside. Well, I don't know.
No?
I don't think so.
Can't blame it all on Darren Baird, the right tackle, because Tommy Vardell, the fullback, picked him off.
I don't blame the Colorado fans for a little reaction.
Stonehouse kicking to McLuhan, and it goes out of bounds at the Colorado 38-yard line. It's a punt of 39 yards, but no return.
Is the quarterback making a throwing motion? I don't think so.
Well, you may be right.
I think he's fumbled.
It looked like Colorado got it back. I mean, Stanford got it back. Colorado did not recover.
I did make an A- in fumble recognition, though.
Apparently, I got a D. So with 9:46 to go in the half, Colorado trying to see what it can do here. Hagan, quick pitch to Bieniemy. Once again, Stanford did a nice job cutting off the outside to Sayon Albert. Wouldn't let him turn the corner completely, and then Richardson came back to help out.
What makes the play successful for Stanford? They're forcing the quarterback to pitch the ball quickly. That means they mentally, defensively, that their defensive backs know if they're going to get a pitch, they're going to be outside very quickly, so they're reacting very fast to get outside and string out the play. That's why they're having success. Now, if Colorado can run play action, give it the fake like you're going outside, pull back and throw the ball, those defensive backs will be in the wrong position.
Was a gain of 5. Bieniemy, nothing. Absolutely nothing. Dan Byers waiting in the hole and stuffed him. And again, Stanford is saying, we're putting everybody on the line of scrimmage. We're not going to let you run. And of course, Colorado is saying to themselves, hey, that's what we do for a living. We run the football.
They're asking a lot of Darian Hagan to make adjustments. He's an option quarterback, and sometimes when he gets out of his element, like on a draw play or sometimes, he gets a little sloppy with his mechanics. That time, he didn't do a great job faking, didn't give his back a real chance to make a big play.
He has thrown 3 times tonight, has hit 2 for 34 yards. Hagan under pressure, sacked. The first guy to get there was Tyler Batson, the right defensive tackle, and he came hard, held on, and got help.
You hear the reaction of the Colorado fans. I mean, that's part of their booing because he got 3rd down play, gets tackled. But Colorado's in transition. This will help them in November, October, and hopefully January 1 when they have to throw the ball. You're going to have some growing pains when you're throwing the football, and you're going to get tackled and you're going to get sacked.
Ruin set to punt. Milburn waits at the 20. Another beautiful punt. There's another in a great line of tremendous Colorado kickers. This one will take the bounce and go all the way into the end zone. That one 62 yards with the roll. NFL Game Day makes its season premiere this Sunday. It's a new start time. Join us at noon Eastern. Chris Berman, Tom Jackson, Pete Axtell provide an hour's worth of previews, features, and analysis. Joe Theismann will be there, and he has an in-depth interview with probably the greatest player in the game, Joe Montana. Then at 7, back with NFL Primetime. You'll see highlights of all the day's games as they tee it up for real this Sunday. Stanford ball with 7:38 to go first half. The Cardinal on top 14-0 over the heavily favored Buffaloes of Colorado. During the regular season last year, Colorado never trailed by more than 10 points. Milburn took a couple of shots as McGee got him. The ball was swiped out there by Biekert, but he was down.
Great backs make something happen when it doesn't appear there's anything there. He looks like as he runs up into the line, there's nothing. Then he breaks outside, at least giving himself a chance maybe for something.